Hey, what's up? This is Todd Smith. I'm back with another video. In this video, I want to talk about gear and how you should not chase it right out the gate when you're starting electronic music. Today, we are influenced with more ads, social media presence than ever before when it comes to synthesizers. Back in the day, you really only knew about what maybe you saw in a magazine, maybe if you read your favorite band used the synthesizer, or something of that nature. How things were spread back in the day is a lot different than modern society. Today, we have ads that are in your face directly from the companies themselves that are a lot more prominent and easier to access than back in the day. Then on top of that, we have social media presence. And these companies have realized that social media people, the really big names, are a really good access point for them to get your eyes on their products. If it has to do with technology, the big names get the products early for you guys to see, for them to do demos, because then they get views on their channel and then the companies get views on their product. So between the direct advertisements, you see more new stuff than ever before. This is obviously not just synthesizers, everything else applies to this today. And this can be a great thing. I mean, it's not necessarily 100% bad, but when you're starting out, it could probably be very overwhelming and you can just get swamped with options. And honestly, when I started out, it was hard not to get lost in just chasing gear and not starting out with just the fundamentals on what you could get. That must be even 100 times harder today because you have so much stuff shoved in your face constantly, every single day, 24 hours a day. So I just really wanted to make a video where I wanted to tell the new people to slow down, and you don't need to chase the gear. You can do amazing stuff on some really low investment stuff today. Heck, even just with the free products that you have today within the software world, you can build a better studio probably with the free stuff than if somebody spent $2,000-$3,000 on a home studio back in the day when I started. But beyond just free software, when you start to invest in the software, the prices stay cheap there too. And we have more budget options on the hardware than ever before. And these budget options sound amazing and you can do some amazing stuff with them. So you don't need to invest a bunch of money to get those fundamentals. And honestly, until you get your fundamentals, until you understand what you're doing and what you want to create, you have no idea what you want to invest that big money into and where you want it to go. You're kind of just in a dark room throwing a dart and just hoping you hit the right target because you just have no real insight to who you really are. Because chances are when you enter this space, you have an influence, a reason that kind of brought you here, a reason why you started synthesizers. You might have a sound that influences you into it, but the reality is you're a different person. And chances are what keeps you here and what you develop and what is unique to you is going to be nothing of what drew you here. So you really have no idea what you are when you enter this space. So developing those fundamentals and knowing, how to create a good song, the basics of sequencing, the basics of playing some keys, or maybe doing some beat pads, whatever it is you want to focus on. Once you know the fundamentals of that work, you're just going to be in a much better place to make those long-term decisions on maybe the big gear with the big price tags. And at the beginning, if you think that bigger gear with the big price tags is going to somehow make your stuff sound like good, or you're going to be able to make good music because you're spending that bigger money, I don't think you need to spend a lot of money to make good music today. And if you are kind of new to the place, you might be barking up the wrong tree. You might want to roll back, slow down, and just develop those basic skills on what you can get your hands on. Because what I always say is when you start out, the best piece of gear is what you can touch, what you can just get your hands on. So that's my simple message to people who are just starting out. Don't chase gear right away. I'm not saying gear's bad and you shouldn't buy some and develop into it, but just don't make it your focus point right away. Focus on just making what you can get sound good. And as always, I need to thank you for taking time to view this video and the Patreons of my channel. Without their Patreon support and you taking the time to view this channel, I would not have the motivation to push my dreams forward and pump out content pretty much every single day. And as always, stay positive, stay creative, support each other, and peace.